So PHP, I'm going to do a magic trick for you today. What I have in my hand here is paper. Paper you can buy for a penny, maybe half a penny, right? In about less than 30 minutes, these papers that I hold in my hands, okay, these papers that I hold in my hands, in less than 30 minutes, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but in less than 30 minutes, these papers are going to produce more energy and enthusiasm in you than a big, what do you call the can of Monster, those small 5-hour energy drinks, the Red Bull, if you have 5 cups of coffee combined, these papers are going to produce more energy than all of those things combined. Now, how am I going to do it, you're going to ask? Here's how I'm going to do it. So 2020 has been a great year. Many of you guys are waking up this morning saying, Pat, it's 2021 already. It's New Year's. I mean, why are you waking me up to energy like this, Pat? Why are we doing this? We just had a great closeout. I busted my tail. My name is Terrace, Phelps, Campos. We just ran a 1,000,000-point bet. We're close. It was crazy. But Pat, everyone's talking about this update video. What are you going to be talking about with these announcements? That's what you call magic. Basic paper, magic's about to happen. Now, let's talk about a couple things here together. Shortly, you're going to go to your gatherings, your own breakout that you're going to be having, right? Many of the MDs are going to be with us this Sunday and Monday. They're going to come here this Sunday. We're going to have an MD kickoff meeting because this is all we're going to be talking about. I think, I don't know, the first 50, 75 people are getting these hats. That says 300, 30, 30, 300 MDs, 30 million point base shops, and 30 VPs. You'll see what happens when I talk about that here in a minute. You're going to see these numbers everywhere this year. Let me set this aside. During the MD meeting, those who come through 3 to 8, that night, anybody that did 35 recruits, we're going to end readies. We'll race together. We'll see who's a good racer. First 50, I think it's the first 50 to hit 35. Then, afterwards, tomorrow from 8 to 5, we're strategizing, and then we go about our business. And then these are going to come back on fire because everyone's going to be on the same page with the strategies that we'll talk about the 2 days. So now, come back here with me. 2020, how was the year? Great year. More $1 million earners than ever before. Million-point base shops, more than ever before. $250,000 earners, more than ever before. $500,000 earners, more than ever before. $100,000 earners, more than ever before. In every possible way, we overcame and beat every one of our records. Now, here's what's crazy. We did this during the pandemic. We did this during a season where we had division, election, shutdown, COVID, vaccine debates. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Our biggest market is California. California still overcame. Sometimes when a year like 2020 comes out and just beats you up left and right, what ends up happening that most people underestimate is the following. When you come out of a year like 2020 and you win, while the rest of the world takes the beat down, you know what happens to you? Here's what happens when you come out and you win. You come out and you say, I don't know what, but I have a feeling I can do even more. I think I'm stronger. I think I'm capable of doing something bigger with my family and my life. Your dreams expand because your confidence goes higher. That happened to a lot of us in the company here today. Now, there's 3 different types of people that are watching this video. Some of you guys are watching this video, you're non-MDs. Some of you guys are watching this video, you're non-VPs. You're MDs, SMDs, EMDs. And the rest of you watching this video, the 23, 24 of you, you're VPs watching this video. These announcements have to do with all of you, every single one of you. Now, prior to me getting into it, there's a couple things that we have going on. One, there's an event that's coming out West Coast with Palaio, Cobos, Terrace, Joe, Gaines, you got Garcia and a few other guys that, they're going to be there. That's going to be from 21st through 23rd. Very excited about this. 3rd through the 5th February is the EIB event with Graziani. 16 through 19 is West Coast, Gaitan, TGA, Phelps, all those guys combined. February's 15 through the 17 is Sapalos, Vargas. They're doing their deal in Kentucky. Very excited about that. But let me give you an announcement here of what 2021 is going to be. 2021, we sat here and we thought about what the year would be called. In 2020, we called 2020 the year of king builders, okay? We built a lot of kings in PHP, lots of them. And our guys build a lot of kings. Gaitans build up Sanchez, who became this EVP, making a name for herself. I think she's the #1 recruiting base shop this year, right, on what they did. Obviously, Ricky and Erica becoming kings, making nearly $900,000. Vargas is $1 million. Palaio, $1 million, right? All these people are rising up, becoming these winners in the company, leaders in the company. We have folks that we never talked about before, all of a sudden making all these kinds of lifestyle and income. We've never had that before. 2021 will be called the year of the builder. Now, why the year of the builder? Let me explain to you. If you watched the comp video, you heard what I explained about the builder. Let me unpack why we're calling the year of the builder. In every institution, in every organization, in every country, in every family, in anywhere you go where you see an empire being built, I will show you somebody behind that empire, that family, that lineage, that church, that team, that sports organization, that's a builder. Jerry West is a builder, okay? When you look at a great church, what Billy Graham did, he is a builder. When you go look at people that are building companies that are very successful, massive monstrosities, Bezos is a builder. Sam Walton was a builder. Now, what benefits do builders end up getting? Here's the benefits that builders end up getting. Builders, when you learn how to build people and you learn how to build organizations, what you don't realize you learn how to do is also you learn how to build people, which later on in life you're building your kids into leaders, and eventually these kids are the ones that end up becoming senators, governors, congressmen, potentially presidents or future CEOs of businesses, potentially future replacement of you running your own organization. Everything in the world has been built by builders. Everything, our society, our country, our government, every single thing is built by builders. So every announcement that I'll be making here is to recognize our builders. So now, having said that, let me start kind of getting into it so you realize why we're calling this the Year of the Builder. Number one, every year we have this thing that we've been doing the last, 5, 6 years, where it's the PHP wanted list, where you go out and you break a record. We simply pay you a bonus. Like last year, Vargas, a bunch of people beat the personal recruiting record, and we kept paying $5,000, $5,000, $5,000. A bunch of people beat, Sopalos beat their own super base record multiple times, $15,000, $15,000, $15,000. But we got a couple new categories, so let me kind of go through some of these before. Get your paper and pen ready because it's going to show up here on the screen. And we'll go through them fairly quickly. The first one is the personal recruiting record, which is held by Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas. They got 68 recruits. Anybody who beats that and writes 5,000 personal points, you get a $5,000 bonus. No big deal. It's the same number it's always been. We're keeping at that number. Second one is the personal production record held by Diana Joe, which is 250,808. She did it on December 19th, 2019. Anybody that beats that record, we give you a $10,000 bonus. In the base shop category, Ricky and Erica did 360 recruits, record in the company, June 2020. You beat that, we're going to give you an additional $15,000. If you beat Ricky and Erica's record of the most base shop production in a month, which is what, $296,000, we're going to give you an additional $15,000. It was $10,000 last year. We're going to make that $15,000. You break any of Sapala's super base records, either points or recruits, we're going to give you an additional $15,000. But there's a couple new ones here. Let me tell you about the couple new ones that we got here. Number one, the record for the company with the most associates in a base shop getting a recruit. Not necessarily how many recruits total you got, how many different associates got a recruit. In the company, it's held by Hector and Erica, which is 119. That was done in August of 2019. I know many people are impressed by this because it's a big number. In 1 month, 119 different associates in their base shop got a recruit. If anybody beats that record, I'm putting the most money into that one. $25,000 if you break that record. You break that record, $25,000 on top of everything else you do. Let me continue. That's just one of them. The next one here. You remember when Moon broke the record for the most consecutive days with a recruit, which is what? 103. Anybody that goes and beats that you get 104 days in a row, including Sundays, a recruit, we're giving you another $15,000. I think that's fair. Now, the other number is who has the record for the most consecutive days with 2 base recruits, which is Vargas's and Ricky and Erica. Vargas's did it back in 17. Ricky and Erica did it just this year, 37 days. Anybody that gets 2 base recruits consecutively in 38 days, we're giving you $15,000. That's right. I've already told you a bunch of 15, 25 additional things that we didn't do before, but it doesn't stay there. Here's what we're doing. Last year, this one's pretty big. Last year, Ricky and Erica did 100 recruits and 100,000 points, 10 months straight. 10 months straight. So somebody has to beat that and do it in 11 months. Whoever does 100 recruits and 100,000 points in 11 months, I figured it makes sense. We give that person who does that 11 months straight a $30,000 gift card to Tiffany's. You want to go buy a nice $30,000 ring, Ceci? Go for it. Go do it. On us. $30,000 gift card to Tiffany's. Yes, that's what we said. Now here's the thing. Now what if Ricky and Erica and Vargas is hit it same month? I mean, it's not like they would ever do such a thing. But what if they hit in the same month? If they decide to make our life easier and hit in the same month, The person that ends up getting the $30,000 gift card is who's led on golf score with base recruits, base points, and base licensed agents the entire year. Whoever leads, you get the $30,000 check, not the other person. So again, 100 recruits, 100,000 points. 11 months straight, $30,000 gift card, bam, to Tiffany's. To anybody that it doesn't have to be them hearts, you could take it. You know, Marlene, you could take it. I don't know, Sheena, you may want to take that, but it's going to somebody. It shows consistency. And I got one more here. I believe I got one more here. Yes? The record for the company for most direct MDs promoted in a year is what? 8 by Sapalas. 8 is their record. Anybody that beats that, you promote 8.5, another $20,000. Okay, is that enough? And did you kind of hear what I just told you right now? 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 Tiffany's. All of that stuff will be on a flyer. I'm just telling you right now so you kind of get an idea. They're going to get a flyer with all these details in it. Okay, so that's that part. Can we go to the next one here? Can we go to the next one here? Okay. Let me remind, I'm going to keep reminding you, the OKRs this year are what? 300 MDs, 30 million point base shops, and 30 VPs. You have to remember that number here. If we in PHP in 2021 promote 300 MDs, 30 million point base shops, and 30 VPs, something magical happens. Is it magical or is it magical? It's magical. But stay tuned. We'll come back to this OKR here in a minute. Let me go to the next one for you here, which is the first 2 bonus. Okay, the first 2 bonus is pretty creative because we're doing some first 2 stuff we've never done before. I don't know if I start with the best or do I kind of work my, let me just go through this. Non-MDs, let me talk to you first, non-MDs. Today's the 1st, it's January 1st, 2021. It's probably a beautiful day, wonderful day. You know, in Dallas it's somewhere around 40, 45 degrees. I don't know where it is, where you're at, what the temperature is. But MDs, I asked a question on the Dream Team call the other day. I don't know if you remember. My question was, I asked a couple of our guys, would you consider yourself hungrier today than you were last year? What did people say? Oh, yeah. I'm hungrier. Absolutely. I'm hungry. Yeah. Then I said, define hunger. And Sheena, being the fact that she has this degree of finance, and she kind of backs up saying that must be a technical question. So she backs up and she kind of says, I think Pat's trying to trick us. Everyone gave answers. I said, you know how you define hunger? They said, how? I said, urgency. Because hungry people are urgent. They don't have time. They're on the go all the time. They say if you're on the set with Tom Cruise shooting a movie, this is Tom Cruise. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. He's just going. He's on the go, right? So if you're watching this non-MDs and you say, Pat, I guarantee you I'm hungrier than everybody else in the company. Let's just say you said that. If you said that, comment below, say, Pat, I guarantee I'm hungrier than. If you got the courage, say I'm hungrier than everybody else below. If you are. Now we're going to see if you said it because we're going to document your name. So don't comment if you're afraid of that kind of documentation because we'll hold you accountable to it. But if you got that kind of guts, comment below. Because here's what I want to match the guts. Absolutely. I think it's fair. I want to match your guts and your courage. And here's what it is. Effective today. Today's what? 1/1/2021. Yes? The first person, okay, that comes out of 1/1 today, non-MD, first person that qualifies for MD guidelines in 2021. First person that qualifies for MD in 2021. 50 recruits, 50 apps, 100,000 points, and your 15 licensed agents, 3 direct FAs. First person that does that, okay, first person that does that, $20,000 bonus. I don't care what you've made. I don't care what you've done. You're the first, you're getting a $20,000 bonus. Now, if you're watching this, some people say, what if 6 people hit it by February 28th? Here's how it works. I'm glad you asked. The first person is, let's say 4 people hit it in the same time. To us, the first person that becomes an MD who gets the $20,000 check is whoever had the biggest income rolling 12. So for example, John Doe, Larry, Jennifer, go, they decide they're the biggest thinkers, they commented below, they do the recruits apps points between now and February 28th. March 8th, we do the update, all 3 of them hit it. But John's income rolling 12 is $13,000. Larry's income rolling 12 is $42,000. Jennifer's income rolling 12 is $83,000. Jennifer gets the $20,000 bonus. Make sense? So it's first, but also if it's a tiebreaker, it's whoever made the most money last 12 months, because I think that's fair to give it to the person that's placing their business the most. Now, you may say, Pat, oh man, I really want that. But what if I miss it and I'm like a couple days, or what if I'm like, I do 2 weeks after the other person? What if I do that? No problem. Here's what I'm giving mode or giving mode. I think we're in a giving mode. First MD, first non-MD that becomes MD, 20K. Second non-MD that becomes MD, 10K. Third non-MD that becomes MD, 5K. Whoever wants it most, you're going to get $20,000 just handed, direct deposit in your account, non-chargebackable. First person, 20K. Second person, 10K. Third person, 5K. The tiebreaker is what? Income, rolling 12. If it's March 8th, we go rolling 12 to March of last year. If it's April, if it's February, we simply go back. But all I can tell you is, if I'm an MD and I got my non-MDs, I'm making sure my non-MD gets that $20,000 more than your non-MD. It's on me. I'm making sure my guy's going to get that $20,000. You'll know why here in a minute, because other things have to do with this. Did that explain? Okay, let's go to the next one. Last year we announced anybody that goes from a non-MD, okay, which is your director FA, making less than $25,000, actually making less than $50,000, you go non-MD, making less than $50,000, to SMD, ring, meaning you go from non-MD less than 50 to SMD $100,000. First person that does it, we pay you what? $40,000. You know who got the check? Pastor Bay got the $40,000 check. We're doing that again, $40,000, second person $20,000, third person $10,000. That's still in effect. I know a lot of you guys want that. We have that going on. Next thing, double promotion. Anybody that double promotes, okay? Meaning, you're currently an MD, you're an SMD, you're an EMD, non-VP. You're an MD, you're an SMD, you're an EMD, non-VP. You double promote. You go from MD to EMD. You go from SMD to VP. You go from EMD to EVP. Anybody that double promotes and promotes 3 direct MDs, 100%. Last year, the first person that did it was Terrace, got 40 grand. Second one was Paulette, got 20. Third one was Suazos, got 10 grand. This year, we want to kind of make it a little bit exciting, a little bit more. So the 40K is 50K, okay? The 20K is 25K, and the 10K is staying 10K, I believe, right? First person that double promotes and gets 3 MDs direct, 100%, 50. Second one, 25K. Third one's going to be 10K. So don't take your time, SMDs, EMDs, MDs. Just go get that check. Because when Terrace got it and I called him, he was in tears when he got that check. He was literally choked up crying because he couldn't believe he got that check. And Terrace is, by the way, exciting stuff, million point base shop. VP, and they're about to cross $400,000 a year income, and they had a baby beautiful. It's probably been the best year Terrace has ever had in their lifetime, right? Think about that story right there. But I'm not done yet. Annuities. Anybody that writes 5 apps $1 million, every time you place is $10,000, $10,000, $10,000. Same as last year. You place 5, you place $1 million, $10,000. Once you do that, we're starting from scratch again. 5 apps $1 million, $10,000. 5 apps $1 million, $10,000. We're doing that again. Next. So far I've covered a lot of it, yes? But I still haven't gone to the crazy part. I still have 2 more. So let me keep these 2 here. Here's the 2 here. This next one is for promoting direct MDs, okay? The first person in PHP in 2021 that promotes 5 direct MDs, 100% first. And this one is sponsored by, I want to say this idea was by Jose and Hector, right? Okay. First person that promotes 5 direct MDs, 100%. 5 direct MDs, 100%. You ready? Okay, when I told them the number I would be okay with, they couldn't believe it. First person that promotes 5 direct MDs at 100%, $50,000 check. Second person that promotes a direct MD with 5 direct MDs, second one gets $25,000 check. The third one that does it gets how much? $10,000 check. Now here's a question. Let's just say a couple people decide to do it on the same exact day and make our life easier. If you promote 5 direct MDs, and Johnny promotes 5 direct MDs, and they both hit it on May 8th, update. What we do, we're not going to split the pot. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the total income of the 5 MDs you promoted, and we're going to take the total income of the 5 MDs he promoted or she promoted. Whoever's got a bigger rolling income, 12-month rolling, that person gets the first 2. Now you may say, what if I got 50-50s? No problem, we've thought about that. The 50-50 person's income, you only get to count half of it. So if their income was $42,000, you get to only count $21,000. You get the idea what we're doing. We've overthought about this, so we minimize conflicts going into 20. 100%. But this is leading me to the big one. This next one's ridiculous. Is this fair to say this is a ridiculous one? So let me tell you what this one is. Last year, we did the thing where whoever runs, first to 250 recruits, 500,000 points, 350 place, and 25 licensed agents, we gave the first one what? $50,000, which went to Sapalas. Second one went to Mason, third one, split. Ricky and Erica Vargas, they hit on the same day. Now watch this. I decided to kind of get a little bit more creative. So last year was recruits, okay? 250. I'm not doing recruits. I'm doing a number of recruits, okay? And a number of recruits is 100. So the first person in PHP who gets 100 different associates who get a recruit. 500,000 points in your base shop, 350,000 points paid, and 25 people get licensed. You know what the first person gets? You ready for what the first person gets? The first person who does it doesn't get $50,000. You get $50,000, fine, direct deposit in your account. We get you a his and hers Rolex presidential watch, day date, brand new, from Rolex store. Day date, presidential, what I wear, what Sapala's got, brand new for him and for her, the first person that does it. And we don't stop there. You know what we do outside of that? I kind of came up with this idea. I said, I like this here. We are going to schedule a private appointment with you on Louis Vuitton. You go to Louis Vuitton. They will ask you what kind of a custom watch case you want. They're going to make you a custom Louis Vuitton watch case. It's got your last name on there, and you have the whole privacy, everything you want, whatever colors you want, they will customize it for you. It's not like a $2,000, $3,000 deal, because it's one-off, made by Louis for you. It takes 6 months for it to be delivered, but you get to have a one-off Louis Vuitton watch case. I think it's good to protect your watches, right? But it's only for the first one. Doesn't happen for the second one or the third one. The first one who comes out, because I told you, it's all about how we come out the gates. Q1. Last year, Q1, I was like, oh, it's New Year, kickback, event, this, that. This year, whoever comes out the gates, focused, hungriest, with the most urgency, you get $50K plus the watches for him, for her, and a customizable Louis Vuitton case made specifically for you and your family. Did I cover all the first two? It's about to get crazy. Is it not going to get crazy here in a minute? Okay, I said we get, I'm breathing hard because I'm excited for you because I know what's about to happen. So watch this. Let me remind you again. 300, 30, 30. 300 MDs, 30 million point base shops, and 30 VPs. If you do that this year, magic's going to happen. I'm going to give you all the commitments all the people made. The board councils first. Sapala said they're going to promote 50 MDs in their net VP, 10 million point base shops in their net VP, and 10 VPs. They have the biggest commitment out of everybody. Del Toro said 44.4, Gaetan said 35.5, Pelayo said 35.5, Vargas said 33.5. Now councils, Ricky and Erica said 30 MDs, 3 million point base shops, 2 VPs. Del Valle said 24.2, Phelps said 16.32, Graziani said 16.22, Mason said 12.11, Alejandro said 10.21. VPs, Sanchez said she's going to promote 30. Sanchez planning on doing $1 million income this year, 10 million points in her hierarchy. She's planning on running a 2 million point base shop minimum is what she's telling me. She said she'll promote 30 net VP MDs, 4 million point base shops, 1 VP. Mackie said 33.2, Suazo said 22.1, Hart said 24.1, Terry said 16.21, Cobo said 16.21, Gaines said 15.21, Kindianelli said 15.22, Crystal Alfredo and Crystal said 12.21, Pimber said 12.21, Sabatimani said 10.21, Donna Kelroy said 9.11. That's their commitment. So imagine this again, 300, 30, 30. What happens if PHP promotes 300 MDs, 30 million point base shops, 30 VPs in 2021? Tico, when I told you what I'm willing to do, did you not flip out?
I flipped out. I did a couple of flips.
Kyle, do you know what it is? You don't know what it is. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. So let's say you do this. Let's say you do this. If you do this, here's what we're going to be doing. We got top 30 million point base shops. There's going to be golf scores for the top 30 million point base shops, right? So you would have, you're gonna have what? Base recruits, base points, licensed agents is what we got. Golf score is what you're looking at. For the unobs, you gotta have your paid points minimum. So minimum for this is what? 300 recruits to do 30 new licensed agents, million point base shop, and 600,000 points has got to be paid. Only 60% is what we're putting as a minimum guideline. If we have 30 people that do that this year, including the 300 MDs and 30 VPs, here's what we're doing for you. Those who were the top 21 to 30 base shops, meaning you rank 22nd, 23rd, 24th. You rank from the 21st to the 30th. The company is going to give you a brand spanking new Corvette C8 on the house. Not lease, pink slip. All you have to do is pay the taxes. You get the pink slip. Am I correct here? And not only that, those 10 people will be flown into Dearborn to Chevrolet headquarters to go see the operation and select your C8 that they're going to design and send to you. That's how many people? 10 of them. Now, that's if you're ranked 21st to 30th. Now, what if you're ranked 11th to 20th? If you are ranked 11th to 20th, we figure we change it up a little bit. Those of you ranked 11th to 20th, we're going to fly you out to Germany. And in Germany, they make a lot of cars. But one of the cars they make starts with one of the most special letters in the alphabet, which is what? The letter P. Absolutely. Porsche. Anyone ranked 11th to 20th, you're going to go to Germany, to the Porsche headquarters, and you will pick your Porsche 911. That will be given to you, keys. Not lease, keys. You'll only pay taxes. Car is yours, okay? So now you may say, oh my gosh, Pat, this is crazy. But I want to be top 10. If you're ranked second to number 10, we're going to a different place. Close to Germany.
Very close.
We're not going to Dallas. We're not going to Hawaii. We're not going to Russia. We're going to take a trip from Germany, and we're going to go to this place that looks like a shoe, like a boot, right? It looks like a boot. This place is called Italia, okay? We're going to go to Maranello, which is the headquarters of Ferrari. And 9 of you, yes. Second to 10th, 9 of you will be getting a brand spanking new Ferrari Portofino given to you. You go in the Ferrari headquarters, you'll get a nice tour, maybe you'll drive it on their track and see what it's like, and Ferrari's going to say, what are these guys doing here? Well, this company called PHP has come to take an order for 9 Ferraris. But first place gets something different. First place will go with us to Italy. He'll say, listen, guys, this is good. You're enjoying all this Ferrari stuff here. But we're going to take a trip out to Sant'Agata Bolognese, okay, Italia. Because you're going there to Lamborghini headquarters because you're going to get an Aventador on PHP. Not a lease, keys. The only thing you pay for is taxes. Let me say this one more time to you. 21st to 30th, C8 on us. You go to Dearborn. 11th to 20th, you get a Porsche 911, you go to Germany. Tikran's going to host you. You're going to go to Germany. Hey, come on down here. It speaks to you in German. You know, all this stuff. You get your cars. 2nd to 10th place, you go to Maranello, get your Ferrari. 1st place, you go to Lambo. I'm probably going to go with you to Lambo headquarters. We'll have a good time together. And then you'll have your special delivery of your Lambo, Aventador. The Aventador is a $500,000 car. I just want you to know this. That'll be your car. Maybe we'll do a custom, put your last name in there. You know, it's one of one. It's one of one for you is what we could do. But that's if in PHP, you, I, everybody commits to 300 MDs to promote, 30 million point-based shops, 30 VPs, and recruits points paid, it just has to grow 40%. If we do these numbers, this is being activated. By the way, let me give you something here for you to be thinking about. This isn't being announced at a time when we only have 2 people running a million point-based shop. This isn't being announced at a time when we only have 4 people running a million point-based shop. In 2015, we had 0 people run a million point-based shop. In 2016, we had 1 person run a million point-based shop, Sapalas. In 2016, we had 4 people run a million point-based shop. In 2017, we had 2015, 16, 17, 20, then we had 6 in 18. We had 9 in 19. This year, we already have 14 people that have already done a million point-based shop. With 7 days of home office has to calculate apps. We're talking about only, if we end up with 18 million point-based shops, it's only 12 more million point-based shops, but it is 30 VPs, and it is 300 MDs. So now, I wanted to make it in a way where, for those of you guys that are already losing it, you're passed out. By the way, wake up, give them some, what do you call that salt? What is that salt that you put in? Epsom salt. Guys, I don't know if Epsom salt. Wake that person up. Wake's like the boxing. Wake up. Okay, good. I'm glad we got him. Okay. Some of you guys are saying, Pat, are you kidding? Because right now you're overwhelmed. I understand. Just breathe. Look, breathe. Wusa, just breathe. 3 times with me. 1 more. Nose. Mouth. 1 more. 1 more. 1 more mouth. Calmer. Okay. Let's get fired up again. Okay. So here's what we got. I give you the record one. I give you the first. Some people forgot about the Rolex watch and all that stuff. And then the Louis Vuitton. Then I just gave you the cars. Something that's very doable, right? Okay. Now, I don't want to stop there. Here's why I don't want to stop there. I like competing. I've always liked competing. I like competing in the marketplace. And we never started PHP to just be one of the bigger FMOs, to be like right now, we're like, oh my gosh, we're one of the top 10 biggest FMOs. They're top 5 biggest recruiting firms in America. We're top 3 in licensing right now in 2020 during the pandemic. Only 2 other companies licensed more than we did. And we're not as big as them that we've been around for 150 years. But I like to compete. And when we compete, we get in the arena. I want us to win. Or at least fight like hell to show that, listen, you may be bigger than us today, but we're going to fight. And you're going to look us in the eye. We may lose sometimes, but you're going to say, these guys, you better respect these guys. I send a special gift to all our board councils. I got a special gift going to all our councils and VPs that's going out this week. We didn't go out for different reasons. You'll find out why, because technical difficulties, but it's going out to you. But the 5 board councils, they got their gift. You know what I got them? I got them the latest Coliseum Lego set that came out. It sold out in 24 hours. I bought 5, and it's $1,000 a piece. You can go see what it is. It's the biggest piece Lego's ever made. You know why I send it to our 5 board councils? Because I wanted to tell them, hey, why don't we go build the biggest empire together? While you're building this with your base shop or your office, let it be a reminder that we are in that arena fighting with everybody watching us. We're getting knocked out in the ring. Bam! Criticism, all this stuff. But at least we're in the ring because we got the guts to be in the ring. What I've told you so far is just the beginning. What I tell you next, you're about to pass out. Ready? Let's get to it. This took a long time for me to be thinking about this. A long time. But one of the reasons why I'm doing this now is because people finally realized the value of equity. So I'm bringing equity back for 2021. And I'm not giving away 50,000 shares of the company, not 100,000 shares of the company, not 150, 200,000 shares of the company. It's going to be ending up being 50 more thousand, but you don't need to know what's going to happen there. I'm just telling you right now, in this here, this is 200,000 shares of PHP equity that's going to be given away. Yes, equity's back for 2021. Now, for some of you guys that are saying, you got to be kidding me. I'm not kidding you. Go talk to the people that are getting dividends check, realizing that's not even them selling their stocks. They're just getting dividends. If they sell the stocks, it's much more of a check they would get. They're just getting dividends. Some of you guys that missed it in 2020, 2019, you were devastated. You messaged me. I know it. I got it. Don't miss it this year in 2020. Don't miss it this year. And the way we categorize it, I know you're losing it right now in offices. You guys are screaming in your house cars. I know. Just stay with me here because it's about to get bonkers. I broke it down into 2 categories. I want non-MDs to be able to get shares, and I want MDs to be able to fight for shares. Here's how we did it, and hopefully this will make sense to you. This that I'm about to explain to you is for 200,000 shares, and here's how it works. Any non-MD, it's a point system that you score. You score points. Let's talk non-MDs first, not the MDs, not the SMD, MDs, VPs, not the councils, but the non-MDs first, 12 the non-MDs. Here's how it works. If in 2021 you become a marketing director, you score 1 point. So how does point system works? However many points are scored, you score whatever points you scored. Your percentage of all the points scored this year, that's how many shares you'll end up getting out of the 200,000. Make sense? If your shares are, let's just say you're 10% of all the points scored, you get 10% of 200,000 shares, which is what? 20,000 shares. If you're 1% of all the scores, you get 1% of 200,000 shares, which is what? 2,000 shares. If you're 0.1%, you get the idea, you get 200 shares, but that's how the point system works. We tally all the points at the end of the year, then you get a report and saying, here's how many shares you got. It's a very cool exercise. If you've never done it, I suggest you get equity. It's a pretty cool experience. Here's how it works. Anybody that hits MD in 2021, in 2021 guidelines starting January 1st, you can't use your points, any of that stuff last year in 2021. Anybody that hits them this year, get 1 point. Anybody who hits MD and gets their watch, and to get your watch, you in 2020 had to make less than $25,000. So meaning, in 2020, your income was only $17,000, and you're not an MD. In 2021, you become an MD, and you get your watch, and your income $62,000. Boom. You don't score 1 point. Now you officially get 10 points. So your 1 becomes 10 points, okay? Which is an additional 9 points. Now, some of you guys may say, well, Pat, that's unfair because my income right now is $39,000, and I'm not at watch, but I'm 39, I'm 42,000. Fine. Here's what we're going to do. It's not fair for me to say you go from 39,000 to 50,000 and you only increase it by 11,000 and we give you these points. No. But this is what I'll do for you. If your income's less than $50,000 and you end up doubling your income in 2021, you get the additional 10 points as well. And here's how it works. If your income's $39,000 in 2020, you need to be what? $78,000 minimum in 2021 for you to get the full 10 points. Does that make sense? So now, some of you guys may say, well, what if I'm a non-MD, but Pat, I'm the hungry guy? Okay, fine. You commented below saying you're hungry. What if I go from a non-MD and I go to not only become an MD, and I not only get my watch, but I also get my ring? What happens to me? You don't get 1 point, you don't get 10 points, you get 25 points. Yes, 25 points. That's a big deal, by the way, to realize you as a non-MD can get 25 points scored, but you got to go from non-MD, non-watch earner, to a $100,000 earner and MD to get 25 points. The same thing applies if you say, Pat, what if I'm at $82,000 income and you're not an MD? No problem. You just need to make sure you hit MD. You get your ring, but your income needs to be 164 minimum. Hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys that want to participate in that. Great. That's what it is with equity. Now let's talk about marketing directors. Oh, it's about to get creative. Here we go. So let me first give you the basic stuff. Basic stuff. You score 250,000 points in your base shop, submit it. At a 60%, at a 70% placement, 250,000 points submitted, 10 points. 500,000 points submitted, 20 points. 1 million points, 40 points. 1 million 5, 60 points. 2 million points, 100 points. 2.5 million, 150 points. But if you scored 3 million point base shop, if you run a 3 million point base shop, we go from 2.5 million points at 150, you jump to 300 points. If you run a 3 million point base shop. That's how you score equity, because I got a surprise for you on what happens if you're a top scorer. So hang tight. So that's the base shop part. Easy stuff, MDs, but let's go to the next part. Gaetan and Hector were saying, Pat, what if we do something for people that promote MDs and people that promote VPs? Gaetan, don't worry. We have you scored away, buddy. We're watching. We know what we're doing here, but we love the input you gave us. It was a sick call, by the way, right? And East Coast, a lot of, by the way, this idea, this came from Palaio. This is a Palaio idea, and some of the first two stuff guys gave, East Coast gave a lot of great ideas. Just so you know this idea was, he wanted to bring back Ferrari. We mixed it up. We went back with Aventador, all this other stuff, levels, which was very good. But let me go back to the equity stuff. Anybody that promotes a direct MD, anybody that promotes a direct MD that's qualified in 2021, you get 5 points. You promote 10, 50 points. You promote one that's 50-50 to somebody else, you get 2.5 points. You understand how that works as well. But anybody, you can promote it. You promote 20 MDs, 100 points, no problem. Make sense? Each direct MD, 5 points. Anybody in 2021 that promotes direct watch earners that doubles their income, 25,000 less, and it's minimum watch earners. Every person you promote that's a direct watch earner to you, that there's no other watch earners, anybody you promote direct watch earner, 10 points, okay? 10 points. Any direct ring earners you promote, 20 points. Remember the whole rule about how it was with, you know, if they're at $68,000, do they have to be at $136,000 minimum to be part of it, right? You got to double your income, okay? So any direct MD, 5 points. Any direct watch earner, 10 points. Any direct ring earner, 20 points. Any direct VPs, 50 points. You promote 10 direct VPs, 500 points. Did you guys hear what I just said? Exactly. That's the builders. Now let me give you the last one. The last one's what's juicy. So quick recap, non-MDs was what? You hit MD, 1 point. You get watch, 10 points. You hit ring, 25 points. MDs, you do 250,000 points, 70% is what? 10 points. 500,000, 20 points. Million, 40. Million, 560, 2 million, 100, 2.5, 150, 3 million points, 300 points. You know what the last thing is? Direct MD, MDs, you promote 5, direct ring earner, direct watch earner, 10, direct ring earner, 20, direct VP, 50 points. But here's the caveat. Whoever becomes the highest scorer, you get a 25% bump in your score. So if the highest scorer scores 500 points, because you're first place, you get an additional 125 points. Whoever gets second place gets an additional 10% in points. Whoever gets third place gets an additional 5% of their points. Meaning, this is going to be a dogfight for equity points in 2021. I'm doing this because non-MDs can finally participate in the way we have it set up. And because we call this the year of the builders. Those of you who build direct MDs, those of you who build direct watch earners, those of you who build direct ring earners, those of you who build direct VPs, those of you who build a big million point base shop, you're going to be rewarded handsomely. in 2021. Recap: bonuses, records you break, first two's double promotions. I give you that already. First two record double promotions. I give you the cars, the 330/30, and I just gave you the equity. The flyers are going to be below. We're going to make the posters so you can put it in your offices. Everything now comes down to a few different things, and this is what it is. My entire life MO is based on four things: outwork, out-improve, out-strategize, outlast. There were a lot of guys that I went up against who were bigger than me, more experienced than me, smarter than me, wiser than me, had been around longer than me, better market than me, everything. But I simply said, Pat, you can't compare yourself in these guys' experience, but you can compare yourself in your work ethic, because it's effort. You can't compare yourself in who grows the most in your improvement. You can do that. You can't compare yourself on how better strategies you come up with. And last but not least, you can't compare yourself on who lasts the longest. The reason why I'm incentivizing to break in Moon's record is because he went 103 days with a minimum of one base recruit. That's lasting. The reason why we're doing 37 days of two base recruits is because you got to last 37 days. And the reason why I'm giving the Rolex watches and the Louis bag is because you got to come out the gates with urgency. That's why we're doing what we're doing here. So let's talk about the third one. What is the third one? Outwork, out-improve, out-strategize, outlast. Let's set the other three aside and focus on out-strategize. Ready? You're a non-MD. I covered a lot. You may be a little bit overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I wish I was MD today. No problem. I understand. I relate. I totally get what you're saying. You can't sit here and look at 75 different things and get overwhelmed. You have to be simply thinking about which one of these applies to you. So if I'm a non-MD, I'm thinking MD 1 point, watch earner 10 points, ring earner 25 points, and then if I go non-MD to SMD, I get a $40,000 bonus. And then if I go non-MD to SMD, that means I'm going to promote 2 more MDs. That means I'm going to score 2 more direct MDs. Each MD I promote, I get 5 additional points. What if you got to think about your formula, non-MDs. Let me talk to the people that are MDs, SMDs, EMDs. MDs, SMD, EMDs. You got 2 responsibilities. One is how many points you can score. Look at the whole thing and structure your whole thing. I'm going to get first 2 bonuses here. I'm going to go and fight for these records here, but I also want equity, and I'm going to get this here. Great. How many points can you score? Solve for the points. Then help your MDs solve for the same exact points, but also help your non-MDs know exactly what they can chase for. Now, councils. Let me talk to you guys, VPs and councils. You guys got a bigger responsibility. Now, we're all going to find out. These announcements have been given to who? Everybody. It's not just 1 or 2 people. It's everybody. The 330/30 means we have to work together as a company. Strength in numbers. This means some of you councils need to run a $1 million base shop because your MDs need you to run a $1 million base shop, so you activate the car for them as well, because you could hurt them and they may not get a car. Hence, the reason why I set it up this way. Did that kind of make sense to you? I hope it did. Now, the bigger council, those of you guys are like, Pat, you don't need to motivate me, man. I'm going to go out there and kill it. No problem. Let me talk about one person here on the call. This last one's only one person on this video that's going out. This last one, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm only talking to one person, okay? So all of you guys just you can enjoy this, but I'm talking to one person. There's someone right now that's watching this. None of us know who you are, okay? I sent the video earlier today to Wendy and Eddie Campos congratulating them for running a $1 million base shop. 4 weeks ago, I had a call with a few leaders asking them, who do you think is going to run a $1 million base shop? And we went down the list. And you know who was left off on the list? Wendy and Eddie, by a lot of people. You know what I said? I said, let me explain to you what's about to happen. 2 surprises for you. What are the surprises? First surprise. You're about to get somebody who should run a $1 million base shop that will miss running a $1 million base shop in 2020. No, Pat, just telling you. But also, you're about to have somebody that none of us think is going to run a $1 million base shop that's going to run a $1 million base shop. Oh, come on, Pat, who are you talking about? I don't know. But all I know is history favors the person nobody expects to do something big. That's how life works. That's why we watch the movies like Gladiator. Because we like the story, the underdog that nobody paid attention to, comes back, boom, 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 redemption. right? So I'm talking to one person right now. Listen to me, you one person, you and I. It's just us. Ready? There's somebody here in the room. I remember this years ago. It's 2004. I'm an MD, not even making a ring. I'm sitting in the room and I'm listening to the speaker like this. He's speaking. And I'm looking around. I don't see anybody. It's just me and the speaker. The speaker's saying, we're going to see what's going to happen, all this other stuff. You know what I whispered to myself? This is all I whispered to myself. I said, this guy has no clue. I'm not going to stop. This guy has no clue what I'm about to do right now. Nobody in this room wants it more than me. I just have to go prove it to the world. Do you realize I vividly remember where I was sitting? Here's the aisle, okay? He's speaking. The podium was on this side. I'm sitting here, row 8, row 9. My elbow is on my knee, and I'm on him. He stops in the middle of the whole thing. He says, everybody, look at that marketing director right there, David, look at him. Everybody goes like this to me. They said, look at his eyes. Nobody had any clue what I was thinking about. When he even said that to me, I had no clue what I was thinking about. I just said, dude, you have no idea how bad I want to win for the David family right now. I'm going to go show the world that this dude has got a dogfight bigger than everybody else. I'm going to outwork, out-improve, out-strategize, outlast. So the one person I'm talking to, you are going to go through all this stuff. Everyone has access to this, right? But you're going to go through all this stuff, and you're going to do numbers and raise the standards to levels we've never seen before. Look, I said this East Coast. I said, I'm looking for 5 things in 2020, 2021. Those who are great at promoting non-MDs to MDs. Those who are great at becoming VPs, running a $1 million base shop, making a $500,000 income. Those who become board counsels, make $1 million income. Next one, the leg to lock onto. The leg to lock onto. I'm looking at MSM, like what they got going on. Looking at WTP, I'm liking what they got going on. I'm looking at TGA. Gaitan's in a very good place right now. I mean, they were #1 recruiters yesterday. They did more recruits as a council yesterday than all the councils combined. I'm talking the day before the 30th, right? In a very good place right now. They ran a $1 million base shop 3 years in a row. I'm looking at, I like where Unity's at. Palau's got to be at the top building a base shop, but if he doesn't, I may lock on 1 or 2 people, but I'm looking at people to lock onto. That's the 4th. You know what the last one was? It's somebody that's going to raise the standards. That's the one person I'm talking to right now. This last spot's for you. That's the person who wants to increase the points 25%. That's the person that wants to set a new standard. That's the person that wants to be the best example for the company. That's the person that all they're thinking about is at MGM Grand Arena in August, I'm going to have my entire team sitting in the front row, 15,000 people, where Michael Jackson performed, Ray Charles, Alicia Keys, Jay-Z, Eminem, Pac, you know, Mike Tyson, all of these guys, Conor McGregor, everybody's been in this arena. The who's of the world has been in this arena. I'm going to share that stage with them. I'm the one person, Pat. I want it more than anybody else. Really, perfect. If that's you, show up on the Leaders Bulletin today on the 1st. That's the one person. You see how that works? That's urgency. Everyone else going to show up the next 3, 4, 5 days. Even with all the crazy announcements I just showed you right now, most people are going to go, oh my gosh, look what's going on, da 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 da. But watch when somebody's going to do this today, just to prove a point. Everyone's going to see it when they come to the kickoff meeting with MDs. Watch what that one person's going to do today. Because the reality of it is, I want to see this be hit. I want to see this be hit. I want to see all of you guys be getting the cars. I want that to be hit like you have no idea. Where is that thing? I want to see the car thing be hit like nobody has any clue. I had it right here. I want this thing to be hit. You know when we're going to know if this is going to be hit or not? Q1. We will know Q1. That's why I said 330-30. And that's why on this week's Dream Team call, I said, who's hungry? I'm hungry. Really, define hungry. Urgency. If you want us to have a video going out to the entire industry saying, look what my FMO did for us. They sent me to Germany. They sent me to Italy. They sent my guys to Italy. One of my guys got a Lambo on the company. One of my guys got a Ferrari, a Porsche, a C8 on the company. Do you want that video? I want that video. What do you think that video does in 2022? And by the way, if we do numbers like this and we go do 330-30, you think I may consider doing something ridiculous in 2022 for the people that remember what I said at the beginning about Bill Gates, where Bill Gates said most people overestimate what they can do short-term and underestimate what you think I'm going to do some stuff in 2022 where all of a sudden we're going to be the biggest FMO in the marketplace? Yes, that's why you're in PHP. That's why you're here. So these are the announcements. Remember how 30 minutes ago, whatever time it was, I think it's closer to 40 now. Remember how I told you in a few minutes you're going to have a shot of Monster, Red Bull, energy, coffee in no time? That's exactly what happened. With that being said, Happy New Year to you. Can't wait to see you. More importantly, I cannot wait to see your dreams become a reality. I can't wait. Last 7-8 months, we've been going to Palm Beach left and right, my wife and I. And when we go to Palm Beach, we look at these homes. One of the realtors took us and he showed us Trump's old house that was sold to a guy from Russia for $100 million, okay? This $100 million house is on the market right now for $135 million with $70 million of painting inside. I'm sitting and looking at this stuff. We're shopping for yachts. We're shopping for planes. We're shopping for the craziest stuff. I just sold a hockey card for $2 million. If you would have told me I'm going to sell a hockey card for $2 million when I was 21 years old, I would seriously say you're smoking something. My life has changed because this 42-year-old man at 23, 24 years old decided to believe in this industry, decided to become the leader of his family, decided to build a big base shop, and look what happened to me. Look what happened to Sopalas. Look what happened to Vargas. Look what happened to Del Toro's. Look what happened to Gaetan's. Look what happened to Plus. Look what's happened to those heroes of the company. Look what those guys have done to the company. Now we're looking for the next ones. And I want your crazy wild dreams. I want yours to become a reality, so maybe one day we'll become neighbors together. Who knows? I look forward to that part. Having said that, gang, let's go have a killer January coming out the gates, and let's shock the entire industry what the DNA of the fabric of PHP is all about. Take care, everybody. Happy New Year to you.